Hello and welcome to the 9th Age battle report. It's the Dwarven Holds versus the Vampire Covenant. As you can see, we've got a diagonal deployment going on, and it's 9 inches from the centre of the tape measure, represented by the dice, and we deploy behind that. We've got a secondary objective, which is the breakthrough, so that's the most scoring units behind your opponent's deployment zone gets the 20% extra VPs. So we're going on to the Dwarf deployment and army. We've got 23 Seekers with full command and the Vanguard upgrade. Next to them we've got the King's Guard, and that's a unit of 21 with full command. There's a king in there, and he's got a 2-up armor save with a 4-up ward save, a great weapon, and the Rune of Mountains. In the forest there we've got a unit of 39 clan warriors with great weapons and full command and the Vanguard banner. Just off to the side then, after that, we've got 22 Iron Guard with full command. To the far side, flanking the organ gun there, we've got 2 units of 10 warriors with throwing weapons and musician. Just behind the organ gun, who's got the Rune of +1 to wound, is a engineer with, I think he's got a 2-up armor save. Going on to my opponent's deployment army list, he's got 2 units of wolves. Behind them he's got 5 wraiths with great weapons. Next to that he's got a unit of 26 zombies. And in the middle there, just nudging the forest, he's got a unit of 28 Barra Guard with full command, great weapons, and the banner of the Barra Kings. That's a bit of a mouthful to say, that one. Behind that he's got a unit of zombies, a 27 strong with a musician, and a cadaver wagon in there, and the upgrades for that, he's got bring in your dead and the endless horde. Just off to that he's got 26 zombies again with musician, another unit of 5 wolves, 40 skeletons, and then 2 Varkalak on the flanks. He's got a Vampire Count General with great weapon, plate armour, Crimson Fury, and the Dragon Bloodline. For his magic items, the Buffer's Helm, Divine Icon, and Mantle of Night. He's also got a Barra King in with the Barra Guard with great weapon, heavy armour, shield, and Talaris Teeth, if that's how I pronounce it. He's also got 2 level 2s. Going on to Dwarf spells there, and then on to the Vampire Covenants. He's actually managed to get 3 invocations as well as that, so his magic should be quite strong really. That's a third just after Vanguards, and then we go into Dwarf's turn 1. So having the diagonal deployment made me think a bit more cautiously of where I want my army, but I just moved it up like that to hold the line. Shooting, we shot the 2 Varkalaks, sorry, the 1 Varkalak on the flank, hoping to do some wounds to him, but we did 1 wound, but it was 4-up regen. He managed to shrug it off and save it. Didn't get any magic off in that turn, so we're going to Vampire turn 1. So both of his Varkalaks decided to charge the warriors there on the hill. So we stood and shoot, did absolutely, I think we did 1 wound, and again he saved it, so he's in, and that combat's going to go Vampire's way, I believe. With everything else, he just chaps all my big combat units up, my Seekers, my Iron Guard, and my King's Guard. He rolls a good flux for his magic, he gets 10 dice there. I dispel a lot of things, but he manages to get the Mockery of Life on his Barra Guard. Bit of a closer picture. So you can probably see what he does there. I think it's re-rolls to hit, I believe. So in the combat he does 3 wounds to me and I don't do anything to him. I steadfast on a 9 and I make it, so saves my organ gun a little bit longer, I think. We're going into turn 2. So I've got some charge arrows just so I can do these videos, so hopefully it makes things a bit more clearer for you guys when you're watching. So charges, we go from the Seekers downwards, so the Seekers going into wolves, the King's Guard going into wolves, the unit of 39 warriors are going to go into a big unit, the unit of zombies straight opposite them. They need quite a long charge for that one, but I think it's worth trying to get in and clear them out as quick as I can. and then the Iron Guard going into wolves. You know, my opponent's done a good job of chaffing me up now. I just need to get in there, clear them out as quick as I can, and reform and get those units back in the game. And movement, I think the other clan warriors just turn around slightly to come and protect the flank of the organ gun. So yeah, that's how it ended up like that. So the charge is the Iron Guard get in. They only needed like a 3. I think I needed about 10 for the warriors. I got a nice 12, and the Seekers and the King's Guard both got in as well, which is good. Magic, I managed to get the -1 to wound off on the warriors. It's not so much for the zombies, you know, I think they're wounding me on 5s already, but it's more for the Barrow Guard if I get the overrun. So shooting, I shoot the Varkalak again, the one that's not in combat. I hit him 5 times and he saved 3 of them, so he came out with 2 wounds, fantastic. So combat here, the warriors kill, I think it was like 15 zombies or something like that. So with a flank, so with the charge and the 3 ranks and the banner, they crumble out of the way and manage to overrun into the Barrow Guard, who end up like that. Seekers and the King's Guard do their job, as well as the Iron Guard, and they just turned face and turned. We overrun. I missed the overrun into the skeleton unit of the Iron Guard by about 3mm, I think. So the Varkalak does another 3 or 4 wounds to me. I don't do anything to them, and I stay again on the 3. So Vampire turn 2, his only charges into the organ gun where he fails. He moves his wraiths through the unit of the Seekers with his special rule and kills 2 of them. And that's just a quick overlook of how the field's looking at the moment. So we're going into combat here. He killed the unit outright, and he failed his overrun. Yeah, the Barrow Guard killed 6 or 7 of the dwarfs. I think I only killed 1 of him. I was steadfast and failed a leadership 9 reroll and got chased down. Bad times. Bad times indeed. Now, you know, it's one of those things, it does happen time to time. It's unfortunately happened in his turn 2, so we'll just have to see what we can do next turn. So, charges, I'll put the Iron Guard into the Skellies, the Seekers into the zombies, and my King's Guard will try and get into the flank of the Barrow Guard like that. They all make it in, so I'm more than happy. I put my engineer in the way, so I'm trying to angle it so he doesn't get into the organ gun on an overrun on the next turn if he kills me. I get the Rune of Metal off on my Iron Guard. Again, we shoot at the Varkalak, and we do nothing to him again. Now I've got a +1 to wound rune on this thing, and I'm not wounding him with that 4 of regen. Is absolutely killing me. So we go into the Iron Guard and the King's Guard. The King's Guard do about 4 wounds to the Barrow Guard. You know, he doesn't do much back to me. He turns and faces me. You know, the combat's a bit of a stalemate really. So the Varkalak charges into the Engineer, and the other one charges into the organ gun and finally makes it in. He moves his wraiths around the back of the Seekers there to try and get a rear charge. So looking there quickly. In the combat he kills the Engineer, turns to face the organ gun. Sorry, the Iron Guard even. And the other one, he kills the Iron Guard. Sorry, he kills the organ gun and goes in like so. So here he challenges my Lord. I have to accept because he's killed my champion. You know, he did save the hits and wounds, but I'm having to re-roll. I did hit him, sorry, and I did wound him, but I'm having to re-roll all my hits, all my wounds. I'm having to re-roll my ward saves. You know, and his Vampire Lord just munched me. You know, he saved all. I think I wounded him twice, which I had to re-roll, and wounded him once, and he saved it. And then he wounded me 3 times, which I saved all of them. And then I had to re-roll all of them, and I failed for the king. So the unit did about 6 wounds, I think it was. Yeah, 6 or 7, and I only did 2 or 3 back to him. So that combat there is not too brilliant. The Iron Guard absolutely chewed through the skeletons, and the Seekers went through the zombies, but not quite enough to crumble them to the last model. Yeah, these Beauregard, you know, they're pretty awesome things. I mean, at the moment he's getting lightning reflexes from the cadaver cart as well, which we actually found out afterwards that because he's got great weapons, he shouldn't be having that. So as it stands in this picture, he's hitting me on 2s, wounding me on 2s. Yeah, so he's absolutely tearing through this unit, and I can't hit him back really at the moment, not for the lack of trying really, unfortunately, but that's how it stays. And Dwarfs lose combat, but I roll and we stay for the next turn. So we're going into Dwarven Hold's turn 4. There's no charges, no movement at all of any kind. I get Ruin of Metal off again on the Iron Guard. I'll try and get off the -1 to wound on the King's Guard, but he absolutely dispels that without any hesitance. And it's a quick overview of the field. So the Varkalat goes to work again on the small unit there. He kills 4 of them, but again I steadfast. I end up killing the rest of the Skellies and turn to face the rear of the Beauregard. So here the Lord does absolutely nothing, which is happy days for myself. But the Barrow King and the unit make up for him. I'm not stubborn here, but we do stay. The unit also did 2 wounds to the Barrow King himself. So going into Vampire Covenant's turn 4, he charges the rear of my Seekers with his Wraiths. See how that goes. I don't think it's going to go too good. He charges the flank of my Iron Guard with his Varkalat. Magic, he gets quite a good phase again, so he grows back a good number of Beauregard there, and he puts a bound spell on them, another attack, and again he just grows this unit again. That's just getting sick, that unit. I lose combat finally. He overruns but misses me by about an inch. The Wraiths, you know, they won combat, but I managed to reform. These guys, they've got a 2-up ward save against non-magical attacks. They've got great weapons. Their armor piercing 6. They've got a load of other funky little rules, and this unit cost them 150 points. Now they're holding up a good 300-point Seekers unit. You know, they're doing their job, but I think they're doing it a little bit too well for my liking. I know in 8th edition you couldn't hit them at all, but still 2-up ward save is still very, very, very good. Here, I can't really remember what happened here, unfortunately, but I think I turn and face him. So in combat here, I'll get 16 attacks with additional hand weapons. I'll do 6 wounds. He saves 5 of them, and he kills 2 of me. So that's it. Just a quick view there of the Beauregard after he devours the rest of the King's Guard, and an overview of what the field looks like at the moment. It's not going too well for the Dwarfs at all, unfortunately. And we go into Dwarf turn 5. Again, no charges. The Warriors fail their rally and they keep running, which is probably a better thing for me at the moment. I get a damn good magic phase off, and I managed to get both my spells off of that unit. Again, I'll do about 8 wounds to the Wraiths, and he saves 7 of them. That unit started to frustrate me a little bit, to be honest, because he only kills one on me this turn, but I win combat and he crumbles. I think it's by 1. So we're looking here. We win combat with the Varklaps and we turn to face the oncoming slaughter of the Beauregard. There's only 5 in that unit at the moment, plus the 2 characters, so I'm not too concerned about it. But it is Vampire's turn next, and yeah, he's got some pretty good magic. So he goes for a charge here, and I flee and I run even further. He charges the Iron Guard, which I'm happy about. Like I said, he's only got 5 Beauregard in there and the 2 characters. So I think the Iron Guard should be able to hold up against that. To be honest, quite happy with that. And then, for crying out loud, he only goes back another 8 or 9. And again, he grows back even more. It's very frustrating. And look at that for a train of zombies. That's absolutely ridiculous. I think he's up to about 70 at this point. The spell is only a 4 up or a 6 up to cast, so it's quite a low casting value, and he's getting a good use from it. Here I think he kills about 4 from his lord. He does a couple of wounds to my runesmith. The unit kills my BSB with a morty wounds. I win combat slightly, he crumbles. So just a quick overview of the field as it stands. So there's not a lot of Dwarven units, as you can see. Now in the last capture, in the last combat, so I said the Beauregard did 2 wounds to my runesmith earlier, it actually did 1. So here I managed finally to rally, and I turn and I just move back a bit to try and get him out of charge range. He keeps dispelling my -1 to wound, so he lets through the reroll of armour saves, go through on the Iron Guard unit. I do, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10 hits on the Wraiths and 3 wounds. Get in, go on Seekers. He saves 2 of them as well. So he kills 3, I've got a banner, I think he crumbles by 1. And that's how that ends up there. So yeah, this combat here couldn't have gone any worse really. He's killed 7 of mine. I think I killed 2. And yeah, I fail. I'm not stubborn. I fail my leadership test and I run. So it ends up like that. He had a few buffs off of that unit. It's absolutely annihilated my whole army pretty much. So going into Vampire Count's turn 6. So his Varklaps charges the warriors. I stand and shoot, so I don't think he's going to make it in, and he does. His magic phase here, he just grows back more wraiths and more zombies. Yeah, combat here, the inevitable happens. He ruins the last 2 clan warriors, and that's how it ends up. The Seekers and the Wraiths did 1 wound each, I think, and they ended up both staying. Like I said, a very, very frustrating game for me, but a very good one. A few lessons learnt. For instance, like the lightning reflexes on the great weapons, but I don't think that changed the game too much. I still think he would have chewed through the units as it was. If I chose better fights or deployed slightly different, would the game gone a different way? It may have done, but we don't know. That's for another day, I suppose. My MVP unit has got to be the Seekers because it's the only Dwarven unit left on the table. His MVP unit is the Beauregard with his king and his lord in there. So they just chewed through a hell of a lot of units, to be honest. I think I took about 700 points off him, and he took about 2,200, I think it was, or 2,100. I can't really remember how much. Nobody got the secondary objective, because neither of us were inside our opponent's half. Sorry, yeah, inside their half. And yeah, it was a really, really, really good game. There's not a lot more to say about that really, so I hope you all enjoyed it. I've got a game coming up in a few days time, and again a couple of days after that, so I'll try and get a couple more videos up of another Dwarven army, and I think I'm playing my Dark Elves against the Vampire accounts at some point throughout the week, like I said. So I'll try and get that when I can as well. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I mean, I've learnt something from it. I hope you do as well. Please like, subscribe and comment. Thank you very much.